Alright, welcome to another video on how to become a business consulting freelancer. So, because this last model, the section 4, is focused on how to conduct a consulting and a proper research as a freelancer. So, how to conduct a proper research by first know how to do that and gather quality data. It's important to recognize that data, after all, is something powerful because it can help you to inform, persuade, or reinforce your point of view, but also can be misleading. And because of that, it's important, especially when you're conducting a research, determine the source of that and the quality of this. So you have is the data that comes from the company, which is the most valuable data source. You usually have to sign an agreement, a pen or not. Once you do that, now you can see how they have been performing, what they have done in the past, to see how you can provide your suggestions. And then look at the second party data that comes from trust sources, sources that have Richard report, peer review, and ultimately the third party data from aggregate sources. Sources that you cannot check who the author really is, but at the end of the day, you might include that in your report. And then, once you're going to conduct a research from a broad perspective, first play devil advocate with yourself, so see things from different perspective. Then gather relevant data about that. Keep track and take notes about every source you obtain, qualify the data that you're getting, and don't forget to circle back with the client. So then I look at how Paul Mendes, the Zero to Mastery instructor, did that, particularly from their marketing Google's, using a tourist website like this. And the way he do that is, so his focus first is on their genetics by understanding all their product and service, what they offer, and then go into the specific by looking at their pricings, their category, the company's review, because this is something that you're gonna use in your consultation suggestions. And if you can have access to the first party data, great. Because in there you can see how they have been performing, how sorry, what they have done in the past, to see how you can provide your suggestions. And once you do that, this first research about their products, their category, their pricing, how much they charge, offering. Now you can switch to the competitor analysis to see who the other players in that industry are, and then see what they can see what they do, and see what you can learn from that. Because once you do a keyword research based on that, you can know what's going on in this industry. And then using keyword research tools to figuring out that, on top of that research, you're going to now look at the worst news to get up to date data and see how everything that you have researched, what is most likely to work today, and that is where this industry is going, see the trends on that, and how this industry is adapting to regulations. So, which is something that I did on my e-commerce research, because I just want to know what is an e-commerce. So I first understand the concept of e-commerce from different sources. So Amazon mentioned that it refers specifically to the trade of good and service on the internet. So You can think of that as your bustling city center or your brick and mortar shop converts into zeros and one on the superhighway, the internet superhighway. So Shopify mentioned that yes, while e-business refers to operating all aspects of an online business, whether it's marketing, which is conduct a market research, conducting a market research, developing branding strategies or marketing strategies, creating ad campaigns, as well as managing social networks, sales, which is identify potential sale leads or customers, make sales calls or video presentations, negotiate a contract or agreement, and then close a deal. The accounting or financings, they keep track of every financial transaction that a company has or incur, as well as create reports for that or financial reports. Keep track also the taxes, human research, which are responsible for hiring and recruiting talent, administrating benefit and payrolls, provide trainings to employees, as well as solving any employee conflict that might happen. The management operations, which focuses on developing new practice or improving the existing production practice, as well as set quality standards. Then we have this IT sector or the IT department responsible for creating is a network, create network systems, network computer systems, develop and implement software systems, provide technical support, as well as ensure data security. Then we have the customer service, which are responsible for inquires customer or response to customer inquiries, handling returns or yeah, handling returns and complaints, provide also customer or provide technical support, as well as check the customer satisfaction. And then we have is the R&D, the research and development, where this focus on developing new practice, uh, as well as improving, so developing new prototypes or new products, or improving the existing ones, create patents. So this is just a broad perspective of what this business specific operations is about, and how Shopify mentioned that e-commerce is refers specifically to the transaction of good and service. Okay, this is just my opinion here, um, because let me give me a moment here. Okay, let me get rid of this. Okay, this is my opinion here. So yes, because having an online business refers to having all of these operating activities or all of these operating specific activities. Okay, let me see. Okay, great. So this is my opinion. So the more control you have on a business, especially if you're a new business owner, of all of these different aspects that you have to control, you should have to keep in mind. Uh, the more it will be for you as a business owner to know and to have more control and how you can then quickly scale that up. Okay, especially because you are interacting with people and humans after all, which are very very messy, and interesting as well. So with that, okay, then I look at what are the different actors and how each one of them interact. So we have the business, governments, and consumers, and the way how they interact each other is, for example, you have business to consumer, which is the most widely business model. So you have online retailers like Amazon, eBay, Walmart, digital marketplace like Etsy or eBay, subscription service like Netflix or Spotify, ordering service and food delivery like Uber Eats, Grubhub, DoorDash. There's another example here. Uh, yeah, as well as online travel and booking like Expedia, Airbnb, or Booking.com. Also, we have is business to business, such as digital marketplace like Alibaba or Amazon e-business, eBay business, EDI, electronic data interchange, which is traditional paperwork like invoice or purchase order. Now it is done electronically to exchange within the company or across different companies in a secure way. So IBM provide that. Online portals for very large business that they want to streamline their supplier chains or procurement portals, setting an online portal to do that using SAP Ariba Network or wholesale or Walmart Supplier Center is a couple examples. Wholesale e-commerce or wholesales like Uli or Gringer, where now manufacturers and distributors sell directly to business to business payment solutions like PayPal or Stripe. Then I look at the consumers to business, whereas you have here the freelance work, like in platforms like Upwork, Freelancer, or Fivers, where now consumers offer service to business, whether it's freelance writing, yeah, whether it's freelance writing, yeah, whether it's freelance writing, uh, yeah, so whether it's freelance writing, web development, web design, video editing as well, and also uh, you have a survey online service like SurveyMonkey, user-generated contents, where now consumers sell their image audios to business like Shutterstock, for example, or Audio Jungle from Envato, crowdfunding. like Indiegogo, Kickstart, the uh, in a reverse auction as well, like price, name your price, or yeah, name your price or price line. For example, price line here. Okay. When it comes to the government to business, now they offer is procuramental portals. So for so government agency provide is online platforms to government so they can bid on government contracts like FBO on the US, the Federal Business Opportunity, or the UK uh, the UK Contract Finder Service, tax filing and payment systems like the electronic the electronic tax payment, like the electronic you have is the electronic tax payment electronic federal tax payment system. Exactly, the electronic federal tax payment system on the US, or the HM custom and revenue on the UK. Permit and licensing for food licensing or building permit. International trade like custom clearance, electronic custom clearance or export declaration. Business registration like the SBA on the US, the Small Business Administration, or the UK Company House. Then the government to consumers, now we have is tax payment portals where now citizens can pay their taxes, providing any of the payment option from the government, like the IRS, and whether payment option they provide, the Internal Revenue Service, passport applications and renewals. For example, from the U.S. State of Department Passport Service on the U.S., or the UK General Register Office, driving and vehicle licensing, like the DMV for Department Motor Vehicles on the California, US, or the Driving and Vehicle Licensing Agency on the UK. Also, we have is uh, uh, as well as utility bills, okay, or birth and death ordering of birth and death certificates, such as on the US National Center for Health Statistics or the UK General Register Office. And then from the consumer to government, we have is online petition to influence in the government policies, online donations, so consumers can donate to government agencies or corporations such as disaster relief like the American Red Cross or UNICEF. UNICEF stands for Universe United Nations International Emergency Fund, right? UNICEF. Sorry. As well as uh, payment of fines and fees. So, with that huge overview of the different actors involved in an e-commerce, the business, government, and consumers, as well as all of these different type of relationship, whether it's business to consumers, business to business, consumer to business, government to business, government to consumers, and consumer to business. So then I look at what are the players out there. So you have in the e-commerce field, so you have Amazon, Etsy, Alibaba, eBay, IKEA, Shopify, and also a small keyword research about to understand what's going on in the industry. So you have is actually selling is a lot of this template, the POC point of sales, the Amazon gift cards, eBay gift cards, also eBay coins, Amazon coins. No, mostly it's eBay coin and Shopify templates and websites. So with that, all right, now I look at okay. So with that, okay. Mm-hmm. So with that, now I look at uh, yeah. So with that, now I look at okay. So once you conduct this research based on the e-commerce, okay, as well as the type of e-commerce and the actors, and to understand what's going on in this industry by doing keyword research, then now it is time to know how you can put that in a visually engaging presentation. Because at the end of the day, if you're going to present that to a client, in this case to myself, if you're going to present that, the client wants to know how you reach the conclusions, and by showing you the charts and the statistics and show them the meaningful pattern of how you can reach that conclusions, then you can provide your suggestions and implement them along with the client, right? So because the client, after all, just one is to understand that, know that you're a consultant, that you can provide value, and you're not just another developer, or you're not just another consultant that just do the bare minimum to get by. So the key point here to understand how you can create visual engaging presentation is first, before creating a report, you must know what exactly is the data that is going to be in that. Second, now it is time to put the most relevant data first, because you don't want the client start to forget what the most important thing was. By showing the most relevant data and then uh, expand that with different charts and aesthetics, you can is tell your clients or yeah, you can tell your clients what is all about this, because at the end of the day, you don't want the client go or anyone, even you don't want to sit in front of the presentations to just only get the good stuff at the end of that, right? And also, you want is to for clients that already have or for recurring clients, you may want to have templates and display data using charts and visualizations. Why? Because charts and statistics can help you to make more informed decisions. So This couple charts that we can use here in our report, well, and their most common use case, we have bar charts that help you to show change in time or compare different categories. Pie charts, they are great when you want to show is part to a whole comparison with continuous or discrete data. It is great with small data set. Line graph to show time series relationship, for example, volatility, acceleration, deceleration, or trends. Area chart, which is a combo with line graph, now with volume, where it can allow you to display now three variables here, again, time series related. Scatter plot chart, like this. Scatter plots, when you want to see the correlation of different items in a two set of variables. For example, time spent in the x-axis versus um, g expense. So time to spend on the x-axis versus customer satisfactions on the g-axis. Okay, so you can see is a distribution of that and the correlation. Again, correlation doesn't mean causality. That's another video. In any case, so we have scatter plot, bubble chart, which is a combo mix between the scatter plot and area chart. So this is helpful when you want to show nominal data or ranking data or ranking relationships when when you can represent three variable when you can represent three variables here, and it is helpful to compare multiple data points on the same chart. So for example, you have is time spent on the internet, age, and the genders, right? Then I look at heat maps, where now you can display categorical data. Meaning is data that can be grouped into different class or groups, like nominal data, which which doesn't have an inherited order, such as ethnicity, gender, marital status, color, fruits, and ordinal data that has an inherited order, such as level of education, high school diploma, associate degree, bachelor degree, master degree, doctorate degree, income brackets, ratings or star rating for a product, 1 star, 2, 3, 4, 5, job seniority, entry level, mid level, senior, C executive or executive level. Uh, Health status as well. So these heat maps are great for displaying categorical data with intensity of color that represent values of geographical data or in a data table. So in a geographical area, you might see that, for example, when they want to represent is the ethnicity of different regions in a map or in a country. Okay, the ethnicity, the age, uh, the job seek exactly when they want to display this kind of data, right? Their ethnicity, gender, the type of car, type of fruits, or a state that produce the or state that produce certain fruits, okay, apples, oranges, corn, you name it, or education levels, uh, yeah, education level, status levels, you know. So this is very, very helpful here, this heat map. And then I look at the geomap when you want to display a distribution of data points on a map. For example, the number of retails that a particular brand has on a state, okay, or on a country. Geomaps tables which are great to compare, for example, sales representative or where block views are coming from, which country. Tables, waterfalls, charts when you want to see performance over time, pictograms, and I think pictogram is the last, and pictogram when you want to display statistic with icons. This is the vastly popular out there. For example, one in nine people have access. What is this? Exact. One in nine people don't have access to safe and clean drinking water, according to cleanwater.org. Cleanwater.org. Interesting. In Drupal, holy. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, that's the recap of all of these data charges you can use in your report to show along with the statistics and to make them clear to the client the meaningful pattern that really matters here, and from then decide if they want to work with you to implement your suggestions. Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. So you have this bar graph, pie chart, yeah, bar graph, pie chart, line graph, area chart, scatter plot, bubble chart, heat maps, geomaps, waterfall chart to see performance over time, waterfall chart, as well as Gantt chart, waterfall and Gantt chart is also to see performance over time, and pictograms to show statistic with icons, and then some tools and research that we can use to leverage our reports, like Microsoft Excel's Statista, which is a think tank where we can get or extract data from. Google Trends. I barely use Google Trends. I barely use Google Trends here. Google Trends is a website by Google that analyzes the popularity of top search query. Explore what I is searching for right now. To see the Google Trends. According to people that are searching for that. Juventus. Get started with trends. So line graph is helpful to see trends. Daily trends. Mhm. What is Google Trend? Basic trends, understanding the data. Advanced Google Trend. So here you're using is heat maps. The shape of dreams. Being pregnant, being chased. Fregaze. What are you searching for? Visualize Google data. OECD weekly tracker of economic activity. Interesting. Midterm elections, the issues that matter to Americans. Or OECD. See how Google Trend is being used across world by newsroom, charities, and more. It doesn't open it. Midterm elections. We measured the search of interest for each topic in approximately 20,000, 25,000 cities are spread across the U.S. We overlay a congressional district maps on the point data from step 1 and perform a spatial averaging to get an average value of each district. Because of such interest value, if we want to know what are the most searched terms within each district, oh my god, you are being observed vastly. So what are relevant interest, but absolute interest, according to them, absolute interest, very low in what in abortion. Okay. Most interest in job, taxes, and firearms. This is so funny, but I get it. I totally get it. More interest in jobs, taxes, firearm. Donald Trump and wage. Mm, solely Republican. I chose topic anti-Semitism. More relevant. Abortion. Abortion is most important on the center. Anti-Semitism. In the center state. Border wall. Of course, Texas will say that. It's like, man, we need to fucking close the border, man. Critical race theory. Critical race theory. Okay. It's more on this gay adoption, gender equity, gender identity. Of course. Homeschool. Holy moly. Kids in mask. Mask mandate. What? Police reform in Oregon. Washington and lean Democrat. Race. School board. Transgender sport. What? Lean Republican, lean Democrat. Mm, absolute interest, of course, in jobs, taxes, Firearms. Ukraine. Wage. Russia. China. Joe Biden. Donald Trump. Gas price. Unemployment. Crime. Healthcare. Border immigration. Gun control. Cryptocurrency. Abortion. Jesus. Abortion. Damn, son. This is on Google Trends. Abortion, stimulus, economy. Oh my god. Oh my god. But this is what in the United States. Now using it per. Okay. Absolute interest rate of most searched topic over time. Job. Taxes. October 31. Week of May. The trends. China. Ukraine. And Joe Biden. Interesting. Culture war, playbook. Culture wars, playbook. Kamala Harris. Abortion, democracy, big lie, foreign affairs. Afghanistan, China. Man, oh my god, Afghanistan is on the, the center of the country. China, of course, refugees, Russia, tariff, GOP playbook, inflation, jobs, money and economy, taxes, and the pandemic. Okay, okay, that's interesting. That was very, very interesting. Yep, completely. That was very, very, very interesting trend to look. So that'll be all for this video. Take care. Bye bye.